Hi, hello. My name is Danny, and I am the creator of Skin Harmonics, the very first Medi-Holistic skin resurfacing method and system, skincare line, full methodology. So what I want to do today is revisit and go into, I guess, some nuances of the basics. And you guys hear me talking about absorption and how important that is. And there is, I guess, this skill within a skill of we know how to layer our products, but I want to kind of dial in specifically today on how to optimize absorption of our products. And this leads into a topic that I want to kind of really explain today, because there's this paradox with our skin where it's a barrier and at the same time it's permeable. And both are true with our skin. Yes, it's a barrier and it's a permeable barrier, which is somewhat of an oxymoron in and of itself. And there's also how we hear, and I as well have talked about how all of the toxins are entering our bodies in through our skin. So that says that it's permeable. And at the same time, there's this ongoing complaint within corrective skincare that no active ingredients are even penetrating our skin. Like nothing meaningful is even getting into our skin. So there's both of these things happening and they're both true. And I want to explain why they're both true. And if you can understand the layers of your skin and the relationship they have with each other, you can always, you're understanding this bigger picture. And the mist, the serum, the moisturizer, it's like the basics that we go back to over and over and over again. And like I said, I want to go in and give some detail around the hydrating mist and the nutritive and hydrating serum. So the main thing that I want you guys to understand is, and welcome to my bathroom in Colorado, by the way. I thought it would be fun to do it from here instead of my virtual background in my office this time. So, and it is a little cloudy out, so I'm hoping that this comes off with enough light. The thing to understand about our layers, and there's many layers to our skin, and it can get very complicated and overwhelming. But for the purpose of understanding what I'm about ready to tell you guys, all you have to understand is that there's 3 different layers to your skin for today's lessons, practicality. There is our dermis and our epidermis, and then our upper epidermis. Now, our dermal layer wants to be left alone and it only wants food. Our dermal layer is not capable of holding water. It doesn't want water. It doesn't want to be traumatized. It literally just says, give me food and leave me alone and don't give me extra work. Like that's exactly what our dermis wants and is. It can only metabolize nutrients. And so that's what our dermis is. And then our epidermis, then is the upper layer. It's on top of our dermis. It's the layer that we see, touch, and feel. And it is that barrier where it's preventing things and protecting the dermal layer. And our epidermis is where we can have some ability to hold on to water. And that's really important because it's our upper epidermal layer, this 3rd layer that I'm mentioning today, that is spongy. It's the upper, very upmost layer of our epidermis that's very spongy and has the ability to hold water. And this is why we can plump out fine lines. All of the layers of the epidermis can't be maximized to a large degree on water, and that depends entirely on how new and fresh those epidermal skin layers are. And that, of course, depends on our dermis. So most of our epidermis is very, it's already been decided the quality of it by the health of our dermis. But what we can do, which is really, really powerful, is in our upper epidermis, which is very spongy and has the ability to hold water, this very thin part of it's like 2 to 3 to maybe 4 or 5 skin layers thick. It's just underneath our microbiome of our acid mantle. We can have that little layer can hold water, and that is what we want to optimize. And that's why we can plump out fine lines. So when we rinse our face and we've steamed our skin and we haven't over cleansed it, we are going to mist with the hydrating mist. It's called the thirsty moment. You guys hear me talk about it all of the time. And then we're going to apply the serum and we're going to massage really well. And that's what I wanted to show you guys in a moment. But when we apply that serum, it's going to be completely saturating that utmost layer of our skin, not our full epidermis, but our upper epidermis. And the fact that we can saturate that and that will actually hold water is really, really important, and that we maximize that every morning and every night, because when that upper layer of our epidermis is saturated, it plumps out fine lines and it makes this communication down into our dermal layers. There's this constant feedback loop that's happening between our upper epidermis and our microbiome acid mantle and our deep dermal layer. And when all is well on that upper layer of our epidermis, when it's hydrated, when it's pumped out, there's this whole cascading effect that happens all the way down into our dermal layer. It's like our sebaceous glands can, number one, relax. It doesn't have to overproduce. And then the most important thing that happens is that spongy upper layer of our epidermis wicks all of the dermal nutrients all the way through our epidermis and into our dermis, where they can be metabolized. And that's exactly what we want. And that's why this layering process is so important. And this detail that I'm adding today of massage, of like really working for a few moments with massage, with your skin hydrated with the mist and with the serum on. And you're really working this massage because you want to, number one, increase blood flow. And number two, you want to really work that top little, very thin, but very, very powerful part of our skin, of how it can be saturated with water. And then when that happens, we can then put our moisturizer on top and literally, because we inserted that water, now we can trap it in. And that creates this equanimity for our whole skin. And it creates this soft permeability that we're going after, because this soft permeability is what we want. That is what wicks and pulls and like almost literally sucks on top of this liposomal delivery system. It works with the liposomal delivery system, but it also works with the water content of our skin. And that's why it's so important that we use this layering system, and that we're really understanding that the top layer of our epidermis is capable of holding water, even though we know that it can't be directly penetrated all the way in, the water and the aloe vera gel and the hyaluronic. The dermal nutrients can be literally wicked all the way through our epidermis and into our dermal layer. And it depends entirely on how hydrated that tiny, tiny area of our epidermis is. Like, how hydrated is it? So that's what gives these dermal nutrients more power. And that's why I've seen this over and over again, where people are working with the dermal nutrients, but because they're not restoring the barrier and optimizing hydration, they're not receiving the full benefits of what these dermal nutrients can do. And furthermore, I want to just talk briefly, because it's so beautiful when I see it. It's when our skin doesn't have to armor itself anymore towards chemical peels, microdermabrasion, lasers. There really is a tangible way that this presents with skin that I've been working with and that has been protected from these procedures and ingredients, where this soft permeability comes over time as a reward for the trust that we've earned with our skin. So our skin starts to trust us that we're only going to give it food, we're only going to give it water, and we're going to protect it. So this beautiful, soft permeability returns to our skin. It no longer has to armor itself and create roughness at the top and dehydration. And it no longer has to armor and shield in a certain way and be reactive. And in doing that, this soft permeability lends itself to deeper and deeper absorption rates of the dermal nutrients. So we create this like really positive, nourishing way that our skin is receiving. And it happens slowly over time, sometimes quickly, depending on how dedicated people are to this program. And it's just a really beautiful thing to watch, this resiliency, this peacefulness, tranquility, that's just based in this place of being just quietly resourced, receiving nutrients and not having to shield itself from the bombardment of, conventional things. So that being said, this is the thing that I've run into a lot with folks, is there's this squeamishness of how to massage our skin, because somewhere along the way in Avon's 15-step program, or who knows where, there's this like, oh, we can't really touch our skin. We don't want to drag our skin. So there's like, oh, like this very timid, almost like people are afraid of their own skin approach to massage. And like, it's not what I want to encourage all of us to do. And what I want to demonstrate for you guys today is there's several things that are happening as you massage your skin with the hydrating serum and with the Devote Mist spray underneath it, is that you're getting blood flow. And you can also do a lighter touch where you're doing lymph, but you're really using a firmer hand than what maybe you guys, I know many of you guys maybe already do that, have been doing this because I've spent the time with you, but I want everybody that's using my Origin set to have access to this. And maybe this is something that you've just never asked me about because it just never came up and you never knew, but you massage your skin and you can pull your skin. And that's what you don't want to drag your skin down, but it's okay to pull your skin a little bit, because that's that elasticity and that's the encouragement and the bounce and just how your skin is moving oxygen, and you're just like, kind of just massaging life force and like circulation into your skin. And then of course we can massage the moisturizer in on top. So in this moment, I'm fully barriered right now because I didn't want to do this video without it, talking this long without having a barrier in place. But this is essentially what it looks like. So I'm going to just do another layer. So I have the serum going on. And this is where I just take the time and I'm moving up, but I'm using my whole hands. And this is dehydrating. There it is, so quickly because I'm in Colorado. And this is where you're kind of splitting the difference between the rose water and the serum. Oh. And you make it just feel good. More serum. And these are what the lighter, more lymphatic strokes look like. So I do deep. And then I kind of just go in and do this sort of thing where it's real gentle, but I'm just sort of tapping, upward motion. Using my whole palms. But in doing that, we've gotten blood flow going. We know that enough time was taken to fully saturate that upper epidermal layer. And then I'm going to use Nomad. I'm obsessed with it right now. And then you can go in and massage Nomad in. And there you have it. Always use the extra. Nomad is an interesting moisturizer in the way that it doesn't need the setup that the other moisturizers need. Lamina and Unity, Trinity, and Truce all need to be globbed on and you wait. But Nomad it penetrates so deeply because it's an animal-based moisturizer that there's not that Nomad, just you put it on and you can just start massaging it in right away. So I just wanted to say that out loud so I didn't confuse anybody that was using, it's just so good, that was using the other moisturizers, because patting on the moisturizers, Unity, Truce, and Trinity, and Lamina, and then waiting several moments is important when you're using those other moisturizers. So, all right, well, I've been meaning to do that for a while, so hope that all made sense. Please send me your questions. And I just think that we need to just really, really think long-term with our skin and know that we can earn its trust again, to only give it good things as we're all trying to realign our lives with self-care practices that are truly nourishing, and not just walking us in circles. And now that you guys, all of you guys know this, you can just really optimize everything that all of the nutrients that you're getting in the serums, because I know they're not cheap. They're the most expensive thing that I buy for you guys and me. And so by understanding how we can do this extra massage, we can really get the most bang for our buck, basically, more nutrients. All right. Hope you guys all have a good day, and I will see you